Hey there, it's Jesse with Setadel Studios. I know it's been a while since we've uploaded, but today I would like to take a moment to talk to you about the 50 Summicron first version rigid. Now, the first version 50F2 does have uh, a couple of varieties. They'll all be considered first version, but today what I have in front of you is a first version rigid, meaning it is a non-collapsible solid barrel. So you can see here it is a later serial number with scalloped focusing, infinity lock, and dual scale feet and meter, red and black, imperial and metric. This is a later serial number made in 1966. Original production ran from 1951 to 1967, so you can see this is the second last year of production. Serial number, this example here, serial number 2160909. Production started way back at serial number 920000 and ended in 67 with 2235800. Now, the very, very early serial numbers you'll see mostly are collapsible F2 versions. That is a four-element, four-grouping design. This is the rigid barrel, which is a different optical design. It is 7 elements in 4 groupings. So don't be fooled when you hear them both referred to as first version Summicron F2. They are different lenses, even though they are classified as the same version. There are a couple unique examples of this lens. There is a dual range version, which is a means of making a macro lens for a rangefinder system. Basically, there are these detachable eyes that click in on the top and mask over the rangefinder of your M body. And it will allow for a closer focusing. It will no longer focus to infinity with the eyes attached, but it will focus much closer than any standard rangefinder lens. The dual range version will work on pretty much every M body with the exclusion of the M5, the M8, and M9, and the M240, sorry. There's also a couple more rare examples. There is an early screw mount version of the 50 rigid. Most of the early serial number screw mounts you'll find will actually be the collapsible four-element, four-grouping design, but there are a limited number of the rigid body with the screw mount that would have been meant for the 3F, 3G. There is also another extremely rare version, which is the original black paint version that would have been released with alongside the M2 black paint and the M3 black paint, which are also very rare bodies. Uh, so if you're looking to match to those bodies, you'll have a tough time finding them. There's only a couple thousand ever made for a very limited run for a very few amount of years, even though the lens itself was made for well over a decade. Again, as mentioned earlier, this is a later serial number 1966 example with the dual scale scalp focusing and infinity lock. This is a 10 aperture blade design, so it gives you very, very soft out of focus, very good bokeh. There is a lot of debate over whether you should be shooting with a 35 or a 50 mil with your M system. I myself believe that a good M3 and a good 50 is probably all you'll ever need, especially with the 0.91 magnification in the viewfinder of the M3. So if you are looking to get a classic one lens system to match your M3, uh, then this is probably going to be your best bet. This, or perhaps even if you wanted to travel a bit lighter, you could go for an earlier example, which is the collapsible body. But that is a different optical design. Um, it shoots a bit softer, and obviously the coating isn't as nice optically, but still a great lens to have. I've shot with a number of 50 f2s in my day. If you refer back to a couple of our reviews, you will find a written review about the 50 f2 Lonthar on our site. In summary, you can't go wrong with a Leica 50 f2 Summicron, especially the first version. It is a classic design, both optically and visually. It is their earlier style, all brass chrome finish, and it just is probably one of the only lenses you'll ever need with a compact rangefinder system.